welcome. Okay, for full transparency, you guys were about to not have this episode, and I wanted to give it to you, but I thought that I was gonna do a number 2 in my pants. I don't know why I started it like this. You know what? I can't start the pod with that information. But I think it explains, I feel like I'm a little bit even more chilled out, even more laid back right now than normal because, boy, my stomach has been on a journey this week. I didn't start it off right, you know? I mean, not only this podcast, but I didn't start this month off right. I tried eating burgers every single day for a week. That ruined my stomach. And then Christmas meals are just load cheese, load carbs, load meat, and just eat it all. So I'm ruined. And then last night, I was like anticipating that I'd be backed up, you know what I mean, the C word. And so I took one of those like laxatives. I don't like starting the podcast in this way. It's so nasty. But there's a full picture, you know, I'm trying to paint. So I took one. They're tiny. They're microscopic. Have you seen these like laxative pills?
No.
They're so small. Tiny. And I learned from my previous mistake of taking multiple after the burgers incident. So I took one tiny one, and all of a sudden I wake up at like 3 a.m, and my stomach's just like in knots. It feels like someone's kneading bread in my stomach, and not in like a cute like cat way of like purring. It was like ripping apart at my insides. And I was like, oh no, this is bad. And I had, you know, Boothing at the crib. First night he slept over. And my stomach is...
Have you farted in front of him yet?
Well, not on purpose, not intentionally. I'm going to get into that too. So last night is the first time he spends the night at my place. Because normally I always go over to his place because he lives alone and I have roommates. And it's hard having people over when you have roommates, especially during COVID. My roommates don't like bringing, you know, having people at the house. So I had been going to his place and I got really comfortable being there. And, you know, like, it was nice just having the place to ourselves and no roommates and, like, cooking there and stuff like that. And so he spent the night at my place for the first time last night because he spent the night at my mom's house, Christmas night. My mom's like, why don't you have him spend the night? Mom, chill.
Was that awkward or did you like it?
So it all went really well. He came over. It was like here's the thing. We've only been hanging out for like a month and a half. Way too soon to invite to Christmas with the fam and everything. Like, I understand how psychotic that is. But my sister was like, you should just invite him, like, casually. He can stop by. Because he wasn't doing anything for Christmas. And my mom would have done this for anyone. Like, a friend, whatever. So I told him, I'm like, hey, you have a loose invite to my house on Christmas. Depending on my mood, you know, I'll let you know if you should come over. And then I was, like, all excited to have him over. So he came over. I was super nervous. He was super nervous. And then it was great. He was chatting it up with my dad, my mom, my sisters. I wasn't even, like, hanging out with him because normally I get really nervous about what someone's going to say or do, and I'm, like, trying to control them or manipulate how they behave around, like, my family or friends. I was talking to my cousin. I was talking to my sister. He was talking to my mom. Like, we were, like, separated. You know, we were just doing our own thing. So that was cool, you know, when you, like, know that someone is, like, good on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So we did our own thing, and then my mom's like, tell him he can spend the night. And I was like, okay, I'll tell him. So I'm like, hey, my mom said you could spend the night. And he was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, crazy. Mom likes you, I guess. And so then my mom asks him, are you going to spend the night? And he's like, oh, I have work tomorrow. He didn't have work tomorrow. He was just lying because he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, is that okay? That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, like, you can totally spend the night. So then he ended up spending the night. And we had lasagna. We had potatoes. We had prime rib. I had gas. And we're cuddled up in this bed. And I'm falling asleep trying to hold in each fart. Because you know when you can feel it? It's about to... And so I'm like sucking them back up. I'm trying to cleanse... I'm doing ass kegels, you know? I'm keeping it as tight as possible. And I'm thinking, well, once I fall asleep, I'm not going to fart. I woke up. And he was like, guess what? He told me that I was just tooting it up in my sleep. And I told my sister, I'm like, yeah, apparently I was just all gassy last night. She was like, why would he say that? And I'm like, because he knew it would embarrass me. I get embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed easily, but when I'm like in a romantic, I'm not trying to be like broed out when I'm like, you know, with a dude. Like, I don't, like, if I accidentally pass a little gas with the homies or with, like, a new acquaintance, whatever, ha 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 ha. When you're, like, looking into someone's eyes and cooking dinners with them, you don't want to be tooting it up on their D, spooning at your mom's house. But whatever, he still likes me, so.
Do you think you'll get to that point where you just let one rip?
I don't want to get to that point. I think that's where things start to go bad in relationships.
See, I always thought that, and I'm not kidding. Just last night, I was staying at my girlfriend's house, and like she was like, "I have to fart so bad." And usually she'll like go to the bathroom or like be like, "Oh, I need to go get water or something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Just do it. Just do it. I think it's funny. At the very least, I'll think it's funny."
And what happened?
And she let it rip like a dude.
Yeah.
And like I love her more now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like, yes. I think there's still, you know, if I was, like, really comfortable and I didn't want to get up just to, like, let out a single fart, at a certain point, I'm sure I'd be like, I really have to fart. You know?
Yeah.
Try and say it cute.
It's cute. We laugh really hard.
Fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's funny.
But I think that there's something special about trying to keep, like...
Well, like I said to her last night, I was like, one thing I'll never do is, like, shit with the door open.
Yeah.
That's, like, too much.
Yes, way too comfortable.
Yeah. But farting, it's like everyone has gas. You let
Sure.
it out. It's uncomfortable if you hold it in.
As
Just
long
let
as
it
it's
go.
not, like, a thing... Because my dad's gross, and my dad will fart at the wrong times because he knows it's the wrong time. And he, like, looks to see people's reactions. That's annoying. And it's like, no wonder you guys are divorced. Like, that's disrespectful. Every once in a while, ha ha ha. But that's like his thing.
Yeah.
He's just a tutor McTutor. He did it on Christmas Day, the Lord's Day. Farted right in my sister's face. and then he denies it. That's the craziest part. We know his farts smell the same. I've grown up with this man for 25 years. I know what his farts smell. He'll be like, I didn't fart. It must have been the dog. No, it's you, Larry. I know your asshole smell. It's distinct. And it's disgusting. Ugh. And then he just walks away like, no big deal. So yeah, so anyway, apparently Christmas night I was gassy. Whatever, so be it. But I think when you really like someone and they like do something that's quote unquote embarrassing, you might think it's embarrassing. I think when you actually like someone, you're like, oh.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
Yeah, because with other people who I've dated or hooked up with and stuff, if they do one thing, it could be the smallest thing. They could blink wrong. They could have, like, an eyebrow hair that, like, won't sit with the rest of the eyebrow hairs. They could swallow their food loud. Whatever it is, I'll be like, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. I can't be with someone who does this. How do they expect me to stick around? And so, I mean, I don't know. It's only been a month and a half. But I feel like I'm noticing that I'm not doing some of the previous repeated behaviors that I would normally do, where I like start to like disassociate and like remove myself from them and be like, oh, I'm just so busy all of a sudden, can't hang out. So it is nice. And I think like I thought I was cursed in terms of like dating and hooking up and relationships and whatnot. I was like, oh, I'm just always going to be alone because I'm never going to find someone who I just can tolerate. Because I'm always like, you know, my needs were very, I don't know. I just feel like I was always judgmental or just like easily turned off. So I'm like, am I gay? Am I a bitch? What is it, you know? But with, you know, 1 month and a half guy, so far so good. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
But it feels nice. And you know what I did? Did I tell you I talked to my ex?
Mm-mm.
I did like a rehab show a couple weeks ago. I do some rehab shows. This dude Zane Hellberg, super funny. He'll like during COVID we've been doing a lot of like Zoom rehab shows where they like set up a camera at a rehab or sober living, and then me and a couple other comics will perform for said rehab. But we did a rehab that was in LA, and we did it at their house, and it was me and my ex, and then Craig Conant was there and Zane, and I was talking to my ex about, like, because with him, I definitely was, like, I started to hate his tattoos. I started to hate his accent. I started to hate the things that I liked about him in the first place. And I'm just like, I hate everything. Ugh. It was too much. And so I'm like, we're breaking up. I can't do this. You know? So I was asking him, because he has been seeing this one girl for a long time now. And I'm like, how... Like, aren't you afraid? Like, isn't there fear? Like, are you guys happy? How do you, like... I always feel like I'm wasting time. Like, if I get into a relationship with someone, I'm like, there's 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
There's a year. There's
I'm the
however
same
much
way.
time.
I'm the same way.
I freak out. And he put it into very simple terms. He's like, yes, of course I'm in fear. And he was like, she's probably in fear about different things or the same things that I'm in fear of. But I can't let that get in the way because it's like, I just have to enjoy the moment. Because, hey, say it doesn't work out, this will be a great memory. Or, like, I'll learn something from this. Or it'll just be a moment in my life that helps me in the next relationship. And he was like, and there's always going to be time. He's like, I always think that I'm, like, not going to have time to, like, just casually hook up if it doesn't work out and, like, have my fun with the ladies. He's like, I'm going to have time. And so I think that helped me. And just, like, hearing about the fear, it's like I could have fear that I like the person more than they like me, or they like me more than I like them, or, you know, it's all normal. So it made me feel a lot better. How does it make you feel?
What?
What I just said. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I do the same thing, and I'm always worried that, like, I'm going to waste the time and that the other person is thinking the same shit that I'm thinking. But
yeah,
you kind of just have to, like, let that go and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think also timing is important for dating and
for everything.
Everything, yeah. Because it's like, if you told me, like 3 months ago that, well, I guess I was ready 3 months ago too, but like the circumstances around me being ready weren't the right circumstances, you know? So anyway, that's exciting. I'm glad all the male listeners have stopped at this point. They're like, fuck! She's hooking up with someone that's not me? Damn it! You might have your chance. Like I said, one day at a time. Who knows? Keep listening, you know? Stay tuned next week. Maybe it'll be over. Who knows? You might be able to slide in. But yeah, it's nice. And then, you know what's crazy about hooking up with someone? The way that people pick up on it. The energy. All of a sudden, all these guys are like...
Oh, yeah. It is crazy.
It is crazy. I haven't even posted anything.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows.
But all of a sudden, you start getting DMs from, like,
But all of a sudden,
people.
everyone's down. I'm like, is it in the water? Is it in my attitude?
Might be the holidays.
Definitely the holidays. The holidays, like I said previously, horny time. Questionably one of the horniest times of the year. Also, most depressing time of the year. It's a hard time of the year. Also because the year is wrapping up. And so you're very contemplative, reflective. Obviously this year no one's really like gotten everything out of life. But There's a lot of emotions wrapped around the holidays. The end of the year, celebrating, mourning, reflecting. There's a lot going on. So, you know what you do when there's a lot going on? Fill your holes. Whether it's with food or with Dizzic. Yes. I'm drinking tea today, chamomile. I'm trying to calm my stomach.
Oh.
Chamomile's so yummy. Why'd you give me that face?
I just hate tea.
Really?
Yes, I hate all tea, yeah.
I grew up, my mom's a tea drinker, so I grew up like a tea girl.
I always liked the idea of it, a little tea bag, and
But you know what? It's because you're probably not doing it right. If you're making tea, I'm doing it wrong right now. What you want to do...
Put honey in it?
No, I would say get a splash of vanilla. If you have one of those, like, you know, squirters.
Vanilla squirter?
A little squirter, if you got a squirter in the kitchen. Put either, like, vanilla or, like, a honey. And then milk. A little bit of milk. Oh, it wakes up the tea. And it wakes up your mouth.
I just like coffee.
I know, me too. But coffee can be so bad for you. Like, if you overdo it.
For sure.
And when you have stomach issues, it's like coffee's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Because because I found out that I talked about how I got my blood work done and I'm like low in iron, I'm low in B12, I'm low in vitamin D. I'm low, you know. Coffee doesn't allow your body to absorb iron as well. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Have you ever drank too much coffee and it gives you the same effect as when you smoke too many cigarettes?
Yeah,
like
where you like have like a
nauseous
head like your head feels empty but like airy and
Yeah, you feel like sweaty but you're cold.
and your throat feels like dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start getting nauseous and queasy.
Yeah. I
The
hate
worst.
that. I hate that.
The worst.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Last night when I was in the throes of
Gas?
well, it wasn't even gas. It was just like the worst stomach pain and then like constipation. And then this morning, because I took that laxative, you know why I'm constipated? Because I don't drink water. I don't drink enough water.
Is that why you have a giant water
That's
bottle?
why I have a giant water bottle and tea instead of coffee. Because I do not drink enough water. And then I'm, you know, eating all this shitty food that needs a lot extra water to wash down. And I'm just doing like a cup a day. That's bad. So I took the laxative. Shouldn't have done that because if you're not hydrating and you take a laxative.
See you later.
Oof. It hurts so bad. So I take it. I get one little situation down, and then all of a sudden this morning it switches over from C to D, from constipation to diarrheal. Oh, that's the worst. It is the worst. I feel like a baby. I feel like I need someone to wipe my butt after with a wet one. I feel I don't want to. It's so inappropriate. It's so gross.
No, it's not. Go for it.
The smell. I'm like anything in the whole world. I showered after. That's why I have wet hair and pajamas on. I feel like I need to be cradled and sing a lullaby and have a pacifier. I feel better now. I feel a lot better now. But yeah, I just hate when I feel uncomfortable in any situation. Whether it's like physically or like emotionally, like I hate that feeling of being like, I'm not at my full self right now. I don't have everything in order the way I need to. So yeah, so that's been my whole thing. Yeah, and then Christmas was great. Great Christmas. I don't know if you guys saw my video, but my mom surprised me with a laptop, which I very desperately needed. And I was going to get it for myself, but everyone kept saying, wait until the holidays. So I kind of was like, maybe someone's getting it for me. But I kept thinking it was my sister Brittany. So once I opened my sister Brittany's present and didn't see a laptop, I was like, maybe I'm not getting one. That's fine.
I could remember this wrong, but in the video, did you say like, if this isn't what I think it is, I'm going to be mad?
No, I said I don't think it's what I think it is.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not going to be disappointed, but I was just like setting myself up to not be getting the laptop.
Yeah.
Because that's a crazy gift. That's expensive. It's not something I would expect anyone to get me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on my list. But that was just like a crazy, you know.
And you got Uggs? Are those Uggs?
And I got Uggs. Oh, shit. I just spilled tea on me. Yeah, my sister got me Uggs. They're so comfortable. My other sister, so I got Uggs. These were on my list because I've been just really wanting to get Uggs. Just soft, comfy Uggs. I love them. They're black. They're the short ankle, which at first I was like, why did she get me the short ankle? But I like the short ankle a lot better. She knew what she was doing. Because the ones that go up too high, then your whole freaking calf is just trapped. Feels like you're going out to do
Snow.
Yeah, I don't need that. I need a little ankle. I just want my toesies all cozy. So now I'm cozy. So that was very sweet of her. And she said, keep it a secret. She said she threw this in last minute. She said she's gonna help me get Botox on my unibrow, so I don't always look confused or scared or mad or angry. So I'm gonna start getting rid of that little, because it gets worse. I'm not trying to be LA. I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to look different. I like my face. It's a little fucked up, and I like that. But I don't want lines that don't need... That's inappropriate. The lines are inappropriate. I always look like I'm trying to read something far away. And that middle unibrow line gets worse over time. And the worse it gets, the more it becomes... You can't change it. What?
Harder to shave? What do you mean?
No, the line... See how I have the line in the middle?
Yeah.
So, when I don't do that, I still have a slight line right there.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's something that I do all the time, it's going to get worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And the worse it gets, it'll become impossible to make it soft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's prevented. I don't know why I'm explaining it so much, but I think whatever. Maybe I will change my whole look. I'll get cheekbones. I'll get lip filler. I'll get a brow lift, get a nose job. Why not? So I'm getting that. Very sweet. Great gifts. This was a great Christmas for me. And I know it wasn't a great Christmas for everyone, but look, I'm not going to make it seem like mine was awful to make you feel better. I'm sorry if you had a bad Christmas. This was a good year for me. Listen to last week's episode when I talk about how shitty the other Christmases were. Not for me, but for other people at my Christmas who I was supposed to get gifts for. I get it. I've seen it firsthand what a bad Christmas looks like. I've been the reason for people's bad Christmases. This was a good one for me. Then my other sister, so sweet. I was the one who I talked to on the phone on last week's episode, Brittany. Every time I spend the night at her house in Arizona, I'm always like, your bed is so comfortable. I love this bed. It's the most coziest. It's just the best bed ever. And it's a tuft and needle bed. It's amazing. Incredible. And she has the pillows that go with it. And so whenever I'm there, I always am like, I love your bed. One day I want to have a bed like this. And so she got me one of their pillows. She was like, I can't get you a bed, but we'll work our way up. So I got a pillow from Tuft and Needle from her.
What is Tuft and Needle?
Just like a mattress company.
Huh.
They're so comfortable. So comfortable. Wow. So that was a really thoughtful gift because that wasn't even on my list. It's just something that I mention every time I'm with her. So that was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, and then my mom surprised me with the computer. And then my dad normally every year just gives us money because he doesn't know what to get. And this year he was like, I'm not going to give you guys money because I want it to go to charity. There's people who have had awful years, can't have presents, can't do anything. Like, you know, I feel guilty giving you guys money when, you know, there's people who are like really struggling. He ended up giving us money to do with as we wish. But because I know that he wanted to give it to charity, I'm going to give the check to charity. I don't know which one yet, though, but I want something that, you know, will help people who, I don't know. I'll look into it. But probably like homelessness in LA. So, yeah, great Christmas for me. And my gifts went over well. I got everyone great gifts. I got my sisters these portable, like, little salad Tupperwares, but they're like nylon or no, not nylon. They're silicone, so they're like rubbery. My sisters love salads. They're basic, you know. So they were like really going crazy for that one. I got my sister's husband a suction cup holder for Trulies, so you can like drink a Truly in the shower, because he loves Trulies. I thought that was funny. I got both of their husbands pants. I got her other husband, my other sister's husband, a smart plug. You could plug it in. Anything becomes a smart device. That's so cool. And then I got my dad the earwax remover from TikTok.
Did you use it?
No, I got too caught up in the laptop. But I'm going to try and find a way to use it. That's the nice thing about that, is that it's not like a Q-tip, so I could just clean off the tool and use it on myself, and it's not like gross. It's not, I swear. And then I got him that Ember reheating coffee mug. He loved that. My sisters got my mom a sweet tea maker. Or not sweet. She doesn't like sweet tea. But like an iced tea maker. Because my mom, if we go out to a restaurant, she orders like... She's like, can you guys just bring out the pitcher? Because she keeps getting refills. And then she's like, I don't know why I can't sleep at night. It's like, bitch, you just had like 12 cups with caffeine. Crazy. And then I got my mom... What did I get her? Did I tell you what I got her?
No.
But it was good.
You forgot already?
Yeah, I forgot what I got her.
It was 2 days ago.
I know.
3 days ago.
Let me check. Let me see. What did I get my mom? And I got AirPods.
You did?
I got AirPods.
From who?
My sister who got me the pillow.
No shit.
Yeah.
You got fucking hooked up.
I got hooked up this year. I know, I feel spoiled. I wasn't even sure if I should post the video of me opening the laptop, because I'm like, is this annoying? But it was so sweet and earnest. But here's the thing, and I know that this sounds corny because I just named off all the gifts that I got and gave and am excited about. But, like, I really was so happy just being around my family. Like, truly. Truly.
But if you didn't get a laptop, you still would be?
100%. 100%. Because all my other gifts were amazing. I was so happy with how it all went. I mean, honestly, like, we wouldn't even have to do presents and I'd be fine. It's just fun being with everyone and, like, doing breakfast, playing games, played Cards Against Humanity for a little bit.
How'd that go?
It was good. My mom, like, she doesn't really get how it works. Oh, I got my mom weed. I got her a bunch of indica.
Your mom smokes weed?
She smokes it to go to sleep because she used to take like all these different sleeping pills and none of them worked for her. And she's like, I don't want to be all like pilled out if it's not even working. And so her doctor was like, you should just try smoking weed.
For sure. And
so I hooked her up with a bunch of indica like pre-rolls because she like doesn't get how weed works. Someone gave her like loose weed, like nugs. She's like, what do I do?
She's
and
like,
I'm
"Do I
like, do you have
bake
a
it?"
grinder? And she's like, don't know what that is. And I'm like, okay. And she doesn't know how to smoke properly. Like, even if I think she has like a little pipe. She needs something like a cigarette. That's what she knows. But it's something that she can just take like 2-3 puffs, go to bed. So I hooked her up with that. And I got her this cute book about like the history of weed and like girl smokers. Oh, you know. So that was cute. But then at the end of the night when homeboy came around to the house, I told him to bring his guitar because my mom's a sucker for when I sing and just like music, and he can play some like old hits that like really get to my mom's heartstrings, so I knew that she would just be like melting. So I told him, I used to sing, talk about some emo hours. I used to sing Nora Jones' song, Don't Know Why, the one that's like, I waited till I saw the sun, I don't know why. That song. Also, my sister said last week when I sang the Christmas song, she had to skip it because it's like nails on a chalkboard. She said she hates hearing my voice. She's like, I know that you like have a decent voice, but hearing you sing reminds me of our childhood and you being super annoying. It was like nails on a chalkboard. I was like, rude. So I used to sing Don't Know Why by Norah Jones to my mom all the time. And I'd be like, if you ever die, I'll sing it at your funeral. Real dark stuff. And so I had Homeboy. I was like, just start playing the song and I'll sing it. So my mom's like sitting down. All of a sudden he just starts playing it. And she hasn't heard it in so long that she's not realizing what song it is until I start singing. And all of a sudden, I told him before, I'm like, my mom's going to cry when you play this. All of a sudden, I watch her. She's just like, tears streaming down her face.
Do you like seeing your mom cry like that? Like,
yes.
over something good?
Yes.
Me
yes.
too.
It's sweet.
That was my whole goal with that painting that my girlfriend did.
Oh, yes.
She cried hard. Not insane, but like she cried, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a little note on the back of it.
Oh my God, moms love notes.
And she's like, I can't read it.
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
Moms keep notes forever.
Oh, for sure. My mom has
They're so sentimental.
My mom has notes from when I was like 4, probably. Probably.
I'm glad that gift worked out.
Me too.
That's so sweet. Did your mom get her anything?
Yeah, she got her something that didn't come in the mail because of COVID.
Ah.
And then she like bought a frame with like a heart-shaped frame and put a picture of us in there.
Cute.
It was cute.
Wow. Wow.
And then Starbucks gift cards galore.
Oh yeah, I'm anti Starbucks gift cards.
I'm not. I have $200 for Starbucks right now.
Great.
I know.
Great.
It is great.
I don't get it.
You fucking hater.
I think that's nice. That used to get me excited like in high school.
When you didn't have a job or money?
Yes.
It
Where
gets
I'm
me
like,
excited
gift
now,
cards!
because it's like, dude, that's like 2-3 a month.
I know, but I think like I just don't feel like I get excited about Starbucks particularly. If someone gave me like a gift card to one of my favorite like annoying expensive like LA coffee shops,
Like Bolt.
like Bolt,
If you
I'd
got
be
like
thrilled.
$300 for Bolt, you'd be stoked.
Oh my God, beyond. Because their
That's what I'm saying.
food is really good too.
So is Starbucks.
I know, I'm just not that into Starbucks.
I get it.
Yeah. But my mom was bawling. I'm singing the song. She's like, that was the greatest birthday gift. Or Christmas gift.
And your sister was all annoyed?
No, she wasn't there. That was a private show.
Oh.
Yeah. She was like, that was the greatest Christmas gift ever. And I was like, damn, I shouldn't have spent money on your ass then.
Is it your oldest sister that gets annoyed by your singing voice?
My oldest sister, who I talked to on the phone last week. Yeah,
Right.
Brittany.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they both don't like when I sing. It really grinds their gears. Because I used to do it, like almost as often as I would be talking. I would just be singing. And when I started taking my ADD medication, which I'm not on anymore, it, like, stopped those, like, impulses to just sing. Because I'd be all, like, focused and zoned in. So I'm like, there's no time for joy and laughter. Everything is serious, and I need to get everything done. But if I forgot to take, like, one of my ADD pills when I was on it, they would know right away, because I'd be like, la da 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 da, like singing any song at all times. They'd be like, did you take your freaking medication today? You're being psycho. I'd be like, shut up! Sorry you don't like the real me. Yeah, I took it so personally. Because it feels like an attack. If you're someone who takes a medication for, like, a mood issue, and someone goes, oh, did you not take it today? Oh, sorry, is being my regular self too much for you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'm over it, though, now. It's all good. Water under the bridge. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get into...
Hold on. Does your dude have any crazy exes?
So it's interesting because there was this one girl that he had been like hooking up with, and that was like kind of just a casual situation from my understanding. I don't think he would like lie about that. And they hadn't seen each other for a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
And I guess she just like randomly showed up at his house. Like I think this was like 2 weeks ago, and he's in an apartment, and so someone must have let her in from the front of the building because she like just knocked on his door.
Right.
And I think he had reposted a story that I had tagged him in of food that we made. But I like tagged him like so small that you can't find the tag. But he reposted it, and I guess she like saw that and then stalked me and stuff. And then yeah, she like showed up at his place and was like, "What? Like I miss you. Like you know, tell me you love me, or if you don't, just tell me. Like I need to hear it." I don't know, just being a little bit.
Do you get jealous?
No, because I genuinely know that this guy like likes me and cares for me, so I don't. I think in certain situations where I don't feel that way about a guy, where I'm like I don't know where they stand with me, like I would be jealous. There's always like a little part of me that's like, oh, that girl's prettier, or like you know whatever. But I don't act on that. I'm just like, whatever. Like, you know. I don't let that stuff get in the way of, like, ruining something, you know? So, when he was saying that, I was like, that's crazy. And then, yeah, like, a little part of me is like, oh, like, you know, like, it's not that I'm jealous, but, like, when you think about the other relationships the other person has been in, you're like, I wonder how that was, or, like, am I, like, you know, I don't know, you just think about it. But then I let it go. I don't think about it too much. So that happened. But then I had the situation with this other guy where he was kind of like, what's up? But he was a little bit more sane. And I had invited him to come over.
Where your ex, dude?
He wasn't an ex. It was like a casual hookup thing. But it's someone who I'm like also friends with.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, you can come over. And we just sat on the front porch. He, like, didn't come inside or anything. We were just sitting on the front porch for, like, 30 minutes catching up. And then I was like, I'm seeing someone. It's going well. He came over for Christmas. You know, because I, like, wanted to tell him in person, like, look, I'm down to be friends. And so it was something that I felt like should just be done in person. Because things didn't, like, end, well, yeah. It just seemed like the more appropriate thing to do. Because if you're saying, oh, I'm still happy to be your friend. If you say that on FaceTime or text, it's like that's not what a friend would do. A friend would talk to you in person.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So then, yeah, I told him about that. And, yeah. Questions time?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a lot of questions. Oh, I also started, because I got the new computer, I was able to go on Omegle again. Did you watch it? It was a good one. The most recent Omegle, you can watch it on my Instagram. I talked to a foot fetish guy. I talked to a guy who wanted to see my boobs.
Did the foot fetish guy say why he has a foot fetish?
I was trying to get into it. I was like, I just read this article about how sometimes people have foot fetishes because it reminds them of, like penises or like body parts. Yeah,
Like it's
I don't
something
know.
that's always covered up and you don't see it, so when you do see it, it's like arousing.
So. Well, and it's kind of like the shape of a foot is somewhat phallic, but not really.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the article I read.
It's definitely one fetish I don't understand.
Yeah, me neither. I don't shame the foot. I'm just very curious by it. I just don't get it. But there's plenty of fetishes that I probably don't get. Or kinks.
For sure.
I asked him what the ugliest nail polish on a foot was, what the hottest nail polish on a foot was.
Did you say French tip is the hottest? Or French, whatever the
He said black nail polish was the hottest. And I was like, now you're a freak. Now you're perverted.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
Did he have 3 Days Grace playing in the background?
No, but he seemed off in more ways than one.
For sure.
It was interesting. It was a good Omegle, and I hadn't done it in so long. People were excited. Okay, let me see, because sometimes these questions are... Oh, someone was asking me about the John Mulaney situation. John Mulaney checked himself into rehab
What?
a couple days before Christmas. He has been sober since he was, like, young.
Yeah.
He's been a sober dude. I've known that about him. I saw him at the Improv once. We, like, sat by the, at the bar near each other.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of, like, trying to take in his presence, you know? I'm like, ooh. And, yeah, he wasn't drinking. Like, this was a while ago. He just, like, ordered, you know, tea or whatever. Oh, my God, my stomach hurts so bad right now. I'm going to explode in your bathroom.
That's fine.
I'm going to hold it, but it's going to be rough when I get home. I can feel like it's starting to, like
Make
my,
you hot.
like, tingling. Yeah.
If you need to stop and go for it.
It was so bad last night that I literally made myself throw up.
Jesus.
Because the pain was like, you know, when you just feel so uncomfortable that you're like, I need to throw up. It was that.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ooh, my butt. I'm going to have to clench these cheeks. Anyway. Oh, yeah. So John Mulaney checked himself into rehab. I guess he relapsed and... Yeah.
On
I don't
what?
know. I think he, like, alcohol and coke. I think.
That's crazy because when Pete Davidson had his, like, episode or something.
John Mulaney was the one to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Crazy.
hard, you know? Nothing's guaranteed. Like, you can think that you're good or feel good and then just be like, I want to do this. Like, your mind is just, like, set on it. And then someone asked me how I've been able to stay sober during this time. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one day at a time, really. I don't think about it too often. Every once in a while, I'll be like, damn, it'd be so fun to just, like, party and, like, drink. But I just know, I think I've had enough time now where I just know that I like my life better when I'm sober. But he was sober for so long that I think you get so far away from that initial feeling of, like, better and worse, where it's so easy to compare next to each other, where you have so much time sober where you're like, maybe it's different now, or like, maybe I can drink again, or whatever. So, you know, yeah. But he's getting help, and who knows? Yeah, so that's how I also feel. Yeah, a lot of people are asking me about how I've stayed sober this year. I don't know. It's hard because I know that there's a lot of people who want to be sober or who think about it a lot and just don't think that they can do it. It's very possible. You just need to figure out what the best way of going about it is. For me, I needed to go to AA. Because if I was just, like, sober, like, with nothing, just not drinking, I think I just wouldn't know what to do, and I probably would drink again. Because it's like, well, this is boring and weird, and I think I needed to, like, understand myself better. And so, for me, AA helped kind of give me a new perspective on my drinking and just myself in general and my behavior and attitude and all that. Yeah, but... because of COVID, there's obviously no, like, in-person meetings I can go to. Because I still like going to meetings. And so I've just found Zoom meetings for AA. And it's pretty easy to find. So it's fun. Sometimes I go to Berlin. Sometimes I go to Paris.
You can do that?
You can do that because it's Zoom, you know? No one's in person. So I can just, like, find meetings anywhere. Yeah, I just, like, Google, and sometimes, like, I'll find spreadsheets of different times and just figure out what time it is over there and over here. I like it. It's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's been nice. And it's also, like, you know, it's a group of people who get it and who also are sober and trying to figure it out. So that's how I have done it. And also just, like, yeah, one day at a time. That's it. This is something I really wish I could talk about.
What? Patreon?
Sure. What am I doing for New Year's? I don't know. Nothing. My sister's going to be in Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So I might drive down for the day and just lay out in the sun. Hopefully it's sunny.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No plans. New Year's, I don't know. Especially this year, it's like I don't want to be out. I want to be like cozy.
Same.
I don't have any New Year's traditions or rituals or anything. I know certain people eat like 10 grapes at midnight. That's like a Brazilian thing or like Spanish or something.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a good luck, good omen, good fortune.
Yeah, that's weird.
Some people like wear a certain color on New Year's. I don't really do any of that. Kissing on New Year's is lame.
For sure.
I mean, obviously you're going to do it. But it's like, oh, wow, we waited till midnight to kiss.
Yeah.
My ex-boyfriend who was on the pod, he told me he loves me on New Year's. I was like, oof. Not a good time. If you're thinking of telling someone you love them, if you're like seeing someone, don't do it on New Year's.
Or propose.
Yeah, or propose. It's just, if you've already done it and you're listening, whatever. I'm glad it worked out. Or didn't. Just don't do it. I don't know. At least for me, I'm like, let's just have a fun day. Why does it need to be like all romantic too?
Mm-hmm.
Someone wanted me to talk about virgins in their late 20s. Something I can relate to, sadly, they said. Don't be sad about that. Embrace it. I think that's sweet. In this time of hoeing around and, I was a nasty girl. I've seen my fair share of body parts. And I think that there's something special about being a virgin. But if you're bummed about it and you just are like, who cares? I want to get rid of this virginity. Pay someone. Employ someone. Give someone a job for this holiday season. People are getting unemployed left and right. Hire a sex worker. Get the job done. Have fun. Don't be bummed about it, though. Someone said me and Ari Manis need to start a podcast together. Yeah, I just did Ari's podcast, and we had a good time. I love Ari. Ari's like one of my good friends, and I love talking to him. It would be fun to do a podcast with him, because he always has crazy stuff, and I try and be like the woke person.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm always like swayed. I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. But it's fun. I had a good time on his podcast. It's called Unlicensed Therapy. All right. I think that's enough for me. My show, unfortunately, in Colorado got canceled due to COVID. It'll be rescheduled, so I'll be back in Colorado at some point. I'm not sure when yet. I believe my shows in Texas in February are still happening. And I'm going to blow my booty out once I get out of here.
Beautiful.
Stick around. Check me out on other people's podcasts if you're bored, if you're lonely during these times. And, yeah, I'll see you on Omegle or on the pod or on Instagram. Bye!